What's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon and welcome to my YouTube channel. I have my iPad here. I'm going to read off some notes and I just want to share with you all my journey so far as I'm pursuing a nursing degree, the school that I got accepted in, and some of those requirements. So let's get started. Why am I starting this channel? I'm starting this channel because I want to share with you all and bring you all along this journey of my nursing degree, both in nursing school and then after I graduate, wherever this channel takes me, and we'll see what happens with it. A big thing that I've done in my journey so far is watched countless hours of YouTube videos from other nurses and doctors and things like that, just to get some insight of the field, the medical field, the schooling, and what it takes to get into some schools. And when I was looking at all these videos, I realized, especially with nurses, that there's very few male nurses out there that are YouTubing and documenting their journey. I just want to try and see if I can help encourage other nurses, other future nurses, and answer any questions that they may have. So that is the second reason, is helping and encouraging future nurses. And I think a third reason is just creating a community that I can be a part of and have each other's backs. And like I said, I've watched several YouTube videos of other nursing students, different schools, different programs, and I've gotten a bunch of tips on requirements, prerequisites, and everything from scrubs to stethoscope brands to pens to backpacks and things like that. So just creating a community where we can all come together and share little tips and tricks to survive nursing school and ultimately have a successful career in nursing. So now, I originally started at my community college and was planning on pursuing my Bachelor's of Science through a CEP program that they have with a state university. But that, just the schedule and the layout of that program didn't seem to fit with me and my lifestyle, as I'm having to work full time. So I started looking for other schools, and I know a couple nurses that went to Chamberlain University, so I went ahead and I applied to Chamberlain as a transfer student. So if you're not aware, or if you haven't heard of Chamberlain, it is a nursing specific school. They offer a BSN, an NP program, an FNP program, all those different nursing programs. They offer that there. And so I'll be doing the BSN program, which is a 3 years accelerated program, and I'll be going in my second year. So this looks like just the overall layout of the Chamberlain program. From what I've read and what I've talked to with the advisors, and when I've talked to my friends that went to Chamberlain, is that there's 3 semesters a year, and then each semester is kind of broken down into different sessions, and each session is 8 weeks long. So for example, semester 1 would have 2 sessions, and each session would be 8 weeks long. And then the program specifically that I'm in at Chamberlain is the nights and weekends program, and this is because I have to work full time while in nursing school. I don't recommend it, but it's just what I have to do. So I'm trying to manage and have a good balance for that. So the night program, it's a Monday through Thursday between 6 and 10 p.m. and then on weekends it'll either be a Saturday or Sunday for labs and clinicals when I get to that part of it. I'll enroll in my classes, and like I said, they're 8 weeks long, and then I think there's a little break in between, but I'm not sure. If you know, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below, so I can know what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, so I got into Chamberlain. I went over the program with you guys, and then just some of the requirements that for getting into Chamberlain, especially as like a non-traditional transfer student, I guess. So I transferred in with, I think, 59 credits, I think is what I have, I'm not sure. And you need a total of 122 for this program specifically. So I transferred in with 59. I took my AMP 1 and 2 at my community college. I took chemistry at my community college. All my other prerequisites I took there. I transferred that in. Now, when you transfer any science-related class or nursing-related class to Chamberlain, it has to be a B or higher. So for me, that wasn't a problem except for my chemistry class. I got like a 79.5, and the teacher didn't want to round. Why? I don't know. But yeah, so I transferred that in. Now you can transfer those classes if they're lower than a B, as long as you score high enough on the HESI, which I'll get into in a couple minutes. But yeah, so I transferred those classes, and then I had to meet with the admissions rep to make sure that some of them would equal their credits, and it was a whole mess. Basically, there was, I think, 1 or 2 classes that I took at my community college that are not going to be used or accepted to Chamberlain, which kind of sucks, because that was class time that I'll never get back. I mean, I was able to learn some fun things that I can definitely apply, but for some reason it just doesn't transfer over to Chamberlain. So it's not the end of the world, but it does kind of bum me out. So after transferring those credits, I set up my HESI test, and I actually took the HESI the first time at my community college. I did some studying, but not a ton. So I took it the first time, and at the community college, they only required the math and English portion of it. And I think there's, what is there, like 7 or 8 sections? Let me know down below. I can't remember right now. But yeah, I think there's like 7 or 8 sections on there, but they only required the math and English portion of it. So I took it the first time, and I like barely missed it. I think for the English portion, you had to have an 85, and I think I got like an 82. And then for the math portion, you had to have a 75, and I got like a 74.6 or something like that. And they don't round it. So I was kind of bummed, but then I also just looked at it as a learning experience and an opportunity for me to know what's on the HESI, because it just rotates the questions. They're randomized, but it's still like the same format of everything. So I was able to see the test, get the feel for it, and then just prepare for the next attempt. So when you apply for Chamberlain, and like getting to the HESI portion of Chamberlain, when you apply there, there's an application fee of, I think, $90 or $95, depending on the state that you're in. Well, that application fee covers 2 attempts for your HESI assessment. So I set up my HESI, and I went and I took it. I ended up passing, like getting a good score where they would accept me the first attempt. Which, by the way, they grade it on a different, like they weigh it on a different scale than most schools. So I think the English is the like highest ranking section, and it's like grammar and all these other subjects or topics in English, and then it goes math, and then the sciences and stuff like that. So I did well enough on the first attempt where I wasn't too worried about getting in. However, because of that chemistry class, like I said, that I got a C in, I had to at least get, I think it was a 73 or 74 on the HESI, and that time I ended up getting like a 69 or 68 or something like that. I can't remember. So I was like, okay, I have one more retake. I'll retake it and see what happens. And that's the nice thing too, is that with Chamberlain, they count the best score for each section out of those 2 attempts. So because I did so well in all the other sections, I didn't have to worry about them when I went back and focused on the chemistry. I just clicked C for like every answer, because you have to answer them, but you can get a 0 the second time if you got like 100% or 90% the first time. So I just clicked C, and I went directly to chemistry 1, so I could focus the 4 or 5 hours that they give me on that. And then another nice thing is that when you take the HESI, if you take it again, you can actually look at each section and kind of see those subtopics that, like if you're taking the English one and you struggled in the comprehension section but did great in the grammar section, focus more on the comprehension section instead of the grammar section. And that's what I did. So I just focused on certain parts of the chemistry. I focused on chemistry as a whole for that second attempt, but I focused on certain areas that I knew I would perform better on the chemistry section. So I ended up getting a higher score the second time on the chemistry portion, so my chemistry class was able to transfer over. And then after that, I had to submit my final transcripts, and sorry, there was a bird outside the window and it distracted me. I submitted my final transcripts, and then my admissions rep, they put my HESI score together and my final transcripts, and I think they call it the passion for purpose. Basically, it's just like a one-page essay as to why you want to go to Chamberlain, why you think you'd be a good fit, and why you want to be a nurse. So they packaged all that together and they sent it over to the admissions committee review board, and they reviewed it, and it took about, I want to say about a month, 3 to 4 weeks for me, just because of the time that I submitted. It was like mid-graduation and all this stuff, so I probably submitted it, like it was probably submitted at the worst time possible, because from everything else that I've read, like you can get it back in 2 weeks or a week or something like that. So it took about 3 to 4 weeks for me to get my like acceptance back, and then finally I got the call from my admissions rep, and then I got an email, and then I got like an acceptance packet in the mail saying that I was accepted into Chamberlain. So after that, I met with my admissions rep and then my financial advisor rep at the school, and talked about student loans, how I would be paying for the school because it's not cheap and I don't have a lot of money, hence the reason why I'm working full time. And then we just talked about all the other checklist items that you need to do by certain deadlines. So you have to be CPR, BLS certified for healthcare providers, and then you have to have a physical, proof of vaccinations for certain vaccines, and then you have to take like a HIPAA exam. There's one other exam that you had to take, but I can't remember. And then you have to provide proof of insurance, and you have to maintain that insurance. It doesn't have to be the same one, but you have to maintain health insurance through the entire period of time while you're in school. So you had to upload documentation for that, and then I'm trying to think of what else there was. Fingerprint, you have to get a fingerprint card, or a fingerprint card through Arizona requires a state fingerprint card, so I had to submit that. And then I did a fingerprint background check, a drug test, and a background check through the FBI. And so I had to submit the proof of the what was it? The proof of, I got like an email back saying that my background check was fine, and I had to submit that email to this portal. And then my drug test was sent directly from the lab corp that I went to straight over to the school, and then they just checked it off for me. And then the fingerprint, I actually went to my school. I think some locations have it different where you have to go somewhere else, but my school had the setup where I could just go there and do my fingerprints, and then it would send it off to the FBI, and they would do all their weird background check and make sure I'm not like a serial killer or anything like that. So let's see, what other requirements are there? Yeah, I don't have too many, like I don't know of too many more requirements. It was super simple. I think for me, my biggest challenge was just being patient and waiting. I get discouraged easily, so it's kind of like I just wanted to be in school, and I've been off school for about 3 or 4 months now. I think beginning of May is when I ended my last semester at my community college. So yeah, those are all the requirements so far for the acceptance. Like I said, I don't start until August 29th, and I plan on just sharing more information with you guys as I go through clinicals and lectures and things like that. And I'll bring you all along for the journey of it. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comments, or follow me on Instagram, and you can shoot me a DM on there, or you can email me, I think, off of YouTube. And then, yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and push that notification button so you can get my next couple updates. And yeah, I'm excited. Let's see where this goes, guys.